Alright, so today is August 13th, 2025, and of course it is the overnight market right now, but I am down 1.2% today, but my Roth IRA, however, is up over 8.5%, but earlier today I was actually up at around 255 earlier this morning in the pre-market, and then of course it tanked all the way down to like 245-ish. But now it's kind of evening out at around 248. If we take a look at my Roth IRA, I am up over 91% year to date. And of course, to give you guys a little update on my transactions, I did go ahead and close 2 Robinhood covered calls today, even though I had, roughly $200 left, slightly less than $200 left in premium. I decided to just go ahead and close them out. Because even though Robinhood was showing some weakness here today, there's still a lot of strength, I think, in the crypto market and just a lot of areas in the market in general. So I just think it was better for me to close out at a profit instead of trying to milk out slightly less than $200 while also still being on the hook for 200 shares. So as of right now, I only have 4 option positions open still. Of course, I still have my Palantir covered calls. I still have my one Robinhood that expires December of this year. And of course, I have my Nike cash secured put. And if we take a look at the performances of my top holdings here, you'll notice something kind of interesting where Robinhood is down over 3%, but Nike is up over 3%, and Palantir is down over 1%, and then Pepsi is up over 1%. So it's kind of like the market is splitting into two. And if you look at the NASDAQ today, the NASDAQ is roughly flat today. It was up 0.05%, which is basically nothing, but then it gave it up in the overnight market. So it seems like the market is kind of split right now with like 2, I guess you could say, categories of stocks. So obviously the high flyers like Robinhood, Palantir, people taking a little bit of profit today, and they're slowly putting some of that money into stocks like Nike, stocks like Pepsi, companies that have been beaten down. And even PayPal is doing pretty decent, up over 3% today. So it just seems like a little bit of profit taking and a little bit of rebalancing going on. Like I said, taking money out of those high flyers, putting a little bit more into the stocks that have been beaten down these last couple of years. And if we take a look at today's standouts, you'll also notice Lemonade. It says it's up over 9% right now, but I believe it was actually up 10% today, which is absolutely amazing. I mean, like I'm starting to wonder if Lemonade is going to have to go on my biggest regrets list because I do have 20 shares, but I did have 120 before. So who knows? Lemonade might end up on my regrets list, but it is what it is. If any of you guys are in Lemonade, congratulations. The stock is up 10% today. It's at $60 a share right now, doing absolutely amazing. And of course, we have Kohl's that has been doing pretty well today, and recently it's actually up over 19% in 1 week. So definitely seems like that short squeeze that I've been talking about, and a lot of people have been talking about for a while now, it seems like it's really starting to play out. But the reason why I put Pepsi on this list isn't so much because of today's performance, even though that was kind of interesting. It seems like people, like I said, taking a little bit of profit from those high flyers and putting it into beaten down stocks. But if you look at the NASDAQ's weekly gain, and then you look at Pepsi's weekly gain, you'll notice that Pepsi has actually been outperforming the NASDAQ this past week. And if you take a look at the month, it's up over 10%. If you take a look at the monthly for QQQ, it's up over 4%. So it's outperforming on a monthly basis. Take a look at the 3 months, 13.59. Take a look at the 3 months, it is 13.95. So it's not outperforming in the last 3 months, but it is if you're including dividends, of course. But I just think it's really interesting that Pepsi recently has been outperforming the NASDAQ. Obviously, year to date, it's still down. So year to date, it's underperforming the NASDAQ. But I just wanted to point out that it it's on the list of today's standouts because of that recent outperformance. Something else that I found interesting today, it looked like Kava was catching a bid, but most likely it's just people that were shorting the stock or taking profit. So, and people that had put options on it, they're cashing in, taking profit, and that just creates a little bit of relief in the stock. So of course, it was around the $63 range, and then it caught a little bit of a bid, and now it's in the $70 range. But like I said, I'm going to be a little bit hands off on this one. Just want to kind of let it play out, and not just because of Kava, but if any of you guys have seen this post on X, but restaurants in general have been struggling a little bit, specifically companies like Chipotle, Kava, and I think the other one is called Sweetgreen. I've never been there before, but a lot of these like healthier, slightly more expensive, like burrito bowl type of places, a lot of them have been seeing a decrease in sales or foot traffic, right? And I think Kava is the only one that hasn't seen that hasn't dipped into negative numbers yet, but that trend is still there, where companies like Kava are starting to slow down a little bit. So like I said, I'm going to be a little bit hands off on this one, but I am interested in purchasing it in the future. If we take a look at that clothing short squeeze that I was talking about earlier, obviously I already touched on Kohl's, but American Eagle is also up over 7% today. VFC, of course, it's up almost 7%, but I didn't put it on today's standouts list because this stock literally moves like this every single day. It's up 6%, then it's down 6%, and then it's up 10, down 10, and it's just all over the place. So that's why I didn't put VFC on the standouts list. But Nike, of course, over 3%. Lulu, it is up over 5%. So it really does seem like clothing stocks are catching a bid. And something that I don't really always show you guys, but I thought I would just to mix it up a little bit in today's video, is my year-to-date realized profit and loss according to Robinhood. So whenever I'm doing stuff on my own separate Google spreadsheet, my Excel spreadsheet that is separate from this, I think that's a little bit more accurate because I'm the one that's actually punching in all the numbers, and these numbers that Robinhood is showing, I don't think it includes all of the fees and like little differences here and there. These are like a lot more rounded out numbers, so I don't really like to go by this, but I thought I would just go ahead and show you guys. So like I said, today I did close my 2 Robinhood covered calls, and roughly one of them was about $105 of profit, and the other one was roughly $32.